Hello everyone. I am so excited to see you this afternoon. This is the last class to go of 2022. And there's a story behind that, of course. I didn't intend for it to be our last class. I thought there would be one next week, but when I looked at my planner for next week, I realized I have an eye injection next Tuesday morning. And you might recall the last one that was scheduled on the same day as our class to go didn't go very well. So I just decided that maybe that was a sign and I should take a break after today's class, at least for the class to go. There's some other things going on that I can't wait to tell you about, but that's what we have going on right now. So, let's see. Let me go ahead and get the focus off my big hair, and I will switch the camera down. Switch cameras. I always say switch the camera down. I'm actually switching cameras. So you can actually see the camera right here that is pointing down. So I don't know why I get so goofy about that. Anyway, so these are the 3 designs for today's class, and I absolutely love them. We are using the Framed Florets Designer Series paper and the Framed Florets Bundle. Now I have to tell you, if you watch my friend Jeannie Nielsen, then she's already ratted me out this week and told you that, although she didn't name me, but I'll own it, I think florets is a silly name for a stamp set, and I call it broccoli. So florets to me means broccoli, and so every time I say the word florets referring to this bundle, I'm actually saying broccoli in my head. And well, maybe I won't say that out loud, but you just never know. So I'm not seeing comments yet. I need to move that down. Okay, I might now. But anyway, thank you so much for being here, for liking my videos, for sharing my videos, for subscribing. YouTube gave me a little snapshot of some of the things that have happened to my YouTube channel this year, and it's phenomenal. We have grown about 225 subscribers this year, and I've forgotten the number of hours. I translated the hours into watch time, and it's just incredible. So thank you all for commenting, for sharing, subscribing, all of those things. I appreciate it very much. So let's talk about this class and get busy making it. So these are our 3 designs. I love this one. It doesn't use any coloring. It doesn't use the dyes. It's just beautiful in its simplicity. So we're going to make that one first. And then this one, I'm not really a blue person, but the way they've added the balmy blue in with these other colors, I think it's a really gorgeous combination, and so I can get past the blue for it. Of course, having said that, that kind of tells you that this one is probably my favorite in Evening Evergreen. Now, all 3 of these cards are cased from other talented demonstrators, and when I share this, I will share that their names as well will be in the blog post that goes out tomorrow. Sorry, I caught a bit of an email that came in and it tripped me up. Okay, let's get busy. We're going to start with this one. Actually, let me show you the kit first. So when you place your order this week, and I've already hinted that, in fact, I didn't hint, I just flat shared that on Thursday, Stampin' Up! Is offering free shipping on orders of $75 or more. So guys, if you place a $75 order, you're going to save what, $7.50 in shipping, something close to that. Actually, it might even be closer to $8. This new shipping rate has me a little thrown. I don't know the math that quickly, but you'll save that, $7.50, $8 in shipping fees, and you'll get the supplies to make these 3 cards, 3 designs. You're going to make 2 of each, and you'll get a free embellishment. And I'll show you. This is the embellishment that I intend to use. So depending on how many people order, I've got a stock of these, and if I run out, then I'll probably share iridescent pearls. they are a favorite and they go really well with this. So you can see that for card number 1, you're getting the card bases. All the cardstock is prepped. You've got the ribbon, your pieces of designer series paper, and your little piece of soft succulent for your greeting. And then for card number 2, you've got the card bases, the card envelopes, I didn't mention that, the cardstock pieces, the designer series paper, the die cut circles, and a piece of basic white for you to use in stamping and die cutting or fussy cutting those images. And then for card number 3, you have the evening evergreen card bases. You have white for your liners for the inside of your card. You have an evening evergreen layer that goes under the designer series paper. Then you have 2 more pieces of designer series paper. Your die cut circles are already die cut, and then you have a piece of basic white for doing your stamping and die cutting for those 2. All right, so I'm going to set that over there out of the way because I have my supplies right here ready. You always get a link to a written tutorial with the classes to go, and that gives you, and of course you'll have access to watch the replay of this video as well, so you get the best of both worlds. All right, so our card base is thick basic white, and then we have a piece of evening evergreen, and then we're going to stamp on this piece of basic white. Now this is not quite square, so you want it to be wider than it is tall. Then you have, okay, you only need 2 pieces of the designer series paper and 1 strip of the soft succulent for the greeting. And we can go ahead and do the greeting first. Let's see if I can get my head out of the way. And I'm going to do this relatively centered. Just a little reminder that you are loved. And I think if you've been watching me for very long, you know that I always put my greetings off the block. They're not level with the block or parallel to the block edges. That is because I was taught that your eye will follow the stamp if you do this, otherwise it tries to follow the block. So that is the advice that I was given. And this is longer than I really need it to be, and that's okay. And I'm sorry if my head is in the middle. It's a little challenging sometimes to stamp like this, and that is so not straight. All right, that's why cardstock has 2 sides. Let's see if I can do that again. And actually I'm going to pull it down closer to me because hopefully I'll be able to see a little bit better. Okay, all right, yeah, my head is totally in the way. I'm sorry. I did get it straight at least once, right? Because you saw that in the sample. Oh, and I want to take time to remember to show you a few other things as well. I'm going to need that in just a second. We'll trim that up in a moment. Now, we're going to use this lovely floral stamp and stamp it once like this, and then we're going to turn it and do it once like this. And then that greeting, of course, will go in the center. And if I were really nice, I would put our card right here. So maybe I'll put it right side up so that you can see what we're aiming towards. All right, and I'm stamping again in Evening Evergreen. So this first one, now I will show you a little trick. We're going to use this strip for a moment, and I've got the bad side up, if you will. And I'm going to do that to help me get this stamp straight across. So there we go, just straight down and straight up. And now I'm going to turn it over, and I want these to be actually a little closer than it looks like they should be when I stamp them. So let's see if this will work for me, because I want to leave about that much space. So if I slide this to here, you'll see how that's going to look. That should be, and of course it doesn't have to be perfect. We all know that this is art. And I'm going to come close to that, but I'm on the reverse side so that if I were to stamp a little bit on that strip, it would be on the back side. Okay, and that's it for the stamping for our first card. And I don't know why either of these can be the top and the bottom, but I felt like I should turn it over because that's the way I started. Okay. Now, and my mat should be even on all edges. And if I put it this way, I can see the top and the bottom and the side and gauge with some accuracy how that's going to be. Now, this piece, so I want this to be about there, and I do want it to hang off some. So I'm going to trim. I am using the Banner's Pick-a-Punch, which I use almost every time, because you can see it's got these troughs, if you will, where your cardstock can slide in and remain centered for the flag. And I'm probably going to need to trim this down a bit. Not much. Okay, I'm going to go just a little bit more on this end. All right. There we go. So now we're just ready to put this together. So I did not cut one large piece of designer series paper to run the full length here. It's actually, I've set it up to be just a little there and a little under here, which is saving me. I'm being more frugal with my DSP. So I took the time to actually mark off where my where this should go. What I'm trying to say. I think it'll make sense in a minute if I just be quiet. So I marked off that this is 5.5 here, and then this is here is 4.25, and that way hopefully I will get this evenly placed, because I want it to look like this part is lifted above my designer series paper, and then my designer series paper will be flush against my card base. All right. So, and then I need and this is the tricky part. Although I have a feeling I'm making this harder than it needs to be. I've been known to do that before. And then this is just going to go in the middle. And actually, yes. I'm going to get my pen again and give myself a little mark. So if you're not using grid paper, I really encourage you to do so. So actually this needs to be about here, and this needs to be about here. All right, and because I stuck that off, it's a little stuck to my grid paper there, which is fine. Oh, okay, here comes my head again, sorry. Okay, I don't think I got that. No, I did not get that. See, part of this is just my challenges, and part of it is the fact that the camera is above me and I'm trying to keep my head out of it. And this one, I should just be able to, should have been able to still pop it down. Well, okay, now I want to lift it up. And so you can see I've popped up that little bit, and now I'm going to add some more dimensionals. Just to the center. And I can add some glue here because this is going to be flush. And if it's not, you know, we can always trim it off a little bit. Now, it would have been easier to just cut a strip and line it up and put it down. But sometimes we want to, I don't know, we kind of want to save our pretty paper, right? You can sympathize with me there. I can't be the only one. All right, come on now. There we go. That's that. And then this is going to come up on dimensionals as well. So, free shipping on Thursday. I have Card Club and another, so there are 2 classes this month featuring this framed florets. And there's this one that is the weekly class to go. It includes 3 designs. And then the December card class also features the framed florets, and it's 4 different designs. And I'll show you those designs at the end as long as I can remember. And you have until the 20th of December to register for that class, and it can be shipped straight to you. If you're local and you want to come in person, then you can come this Saturday at 2 o'clock. The in-person club and the class for the framed florets will both meet this Saturday. That's just the nature of December. Hardin's birthday is Sunday, and then we'll have our family Christmas with all the kids on Saturday, and then we'll travel to Missouri and have Christmas with my husband's family later in the month. So if we don't meet on the 17th, there just won't be a chance to meet. I'll grab a glue dot. There are some extra goodies in the Card Club package this month. Card Club is featuring the Snowman Magic Bundle, which I looked this morning, and the Snowman Magic Stamp Set has sold out. So I apologize for that. I did publish that I'd be using it. I don't know, next year I'll do things differently so that we don't run the risk of things selling out that we need for class. We're going to add some of the iridescent pearls to this card. So one here, and then one out here, and then one just there. So lovely card, and you could certainly add more embellishments to the inside. And remember, other than ribbon, your class kit won't contain embellishments unless your order is over $50, which is going to be because you're going to want to take advantage of that free shipping. I know I will be taking advantage of free shipping and stocking up on my cardstock and probably some envelopes. You just never know what all we're going to need. But it's a good time when there's free shipping to, even if I'm not looking for, I'm waiting for the new catalog. You might be waiting for the new catalog, which will go live January 5th. Well, those basics like adhesive and cardstock, you're going to need anytime. So you can take advantage of free shipping. That's a great time to do whatever it is I'm trying to say. Let me clean these stamps. I really should make myself go out in public on Tuesday mornings so that I've actually talked with people and had complete cohesive thoughts before I turn on the camera. Because when you turn on the camera, it's just anybody's guess how connected your brain and your mouth are. And I started out the day with a headache, which isn't doing anything. And I'm moving this over to the right a little bit because I want that floral image to kind of overlap a bit. All right, now I'll put the navy away. That was Night of Navy. And I'll clean my stamp. So I am going to use it again in the next card. But let me show you all the greetings. So we're using Wishes for a Beautiful Birthday and Just a Little Reminder That You Are Loved. We also have Celebrate, For a Special Person on a Special Day. So you can put that one on the inside. Thank You with All My Heart. I have used that so much already with my thank you cards. I love a nicely sized greeting for thank you cards especially. All right, now I've already die cut my image because I work better with the Stamparatus than I do stamping and then die cutting. So that is why I do it this way. And until I started having a class every week and it was just too hard to maintain, I used to do some of this die cutting and then sending a template with my classes. And that just has gotten to be not a manageable feat at this point. All right, so, but this is how I do mine. And I do this because it's easier for me. So I have already stamped on my grid paper, and now I'm going to take the template. So this is where I die cut the image, and I'm going to line it up around so that I get equal white space around the stamped image. Then I put the die cut piece that I cut out, and I slide a stamp set under my image, my stamp, this acrylic plate, and then I ink up my flower. And I'll tell you, I've got 2 more to do for the next card, so I'm going to go ahead and do them while I've got this out. Photopolymer stamps do tend to stick, so you may need to adjust your you might need to adjust the fit of that more than once. That's okay, it just takes a second. And it looks like it's okay. And if it's not, well, I'll show you what I'm doing. Hello, Ashley. Hi, Joyce. Joyce, we missed you so much Sunday on the Zoom. I know it is such a busy time, and I wondered if you might have been out celebrating Isaac's birthday. Okay, get over there. So we'll use these two on the next one, but we'll go ahead and stamp them now. I liked that with these cards, I didn't use any of the oval frames. The frames are beautiful, oval, and I used some of them in the other class, but I really wanted to focus on the stamp set in this one. So I'm quite pleased with the way they turned out, using the stylish shaped labels for our greetings, and even just a square that I cut with my trimmer. All right, set that aside. And so here's where we are for this card. We're going to take one of these, pull this back down so you can see what we're making. You can go over there. And then we're just going to color this with soft succulent and polished pink blends. And you know, everybody has their own process for coloring and none of them is wrong. I'm following the artist lines a bit to determine where the darkest parts are. And I would probably take this in even smaller sections if I weren't, you know, sort of in a hurry. Yes, Judy, I do wish we had a never-ending supply of the things that we love. And I hope that I can remember until Thursday the colors of cardstock that I needed, because I broke my own rule. I always tell my team that as soon as they place their order, to open up another order so that as they need to remember to order something, it's already there waiting for them. You can save your orders and get back to them. So, oh my gosh, I just made a boo-boo. I went outside the lines, which is not a big deal, but I'll show you what happens. So the color lifter will help me look like a little better color, lifting those out of the way. So I need to order balmy blue cardstock, if anybody can help me remember that. And oh my gosh, balmy blue. Nuts. There are 3 colors that I'm desperate for. I guess I'm just gonna have to go back into my cabinet and look. Luckily, I am blessed to have the organization that lets me see. Well, I need a flashlight. but beyond that, I can see what I have and what I'm low on pretty quickly. Now, I took a coloring class a year or so ago, and Heather tried to teach us how to hold our markers in the same hand, but it's not something that I have perfected at this point. So let's go on down here. Well, of course, Judy, our minds think alike. That's awesome. I'm not surprised at all. I love this bright pink. And let's see. Okay, evidently I can't talk in color. This really doesn't come as a surprise. I was on a Zoom last night for our craft night together, and got down to just 2 of us on the Zoom at the end, and we were both coloring, and it was just complete silence. Heather Thomas is a demonstrator in the UK, Judy, and she taught the blending course, and she's so talented. And if you look at my blog, she's probably participating in the blog hop with me, because she's part of the Tech for Stampers group. That's how I met her. So my blog went live at the same time that this did, and I shared another Framed Florets class on the blog. No, Framed Florets card in the blog today. And it is actually one of the ones that we are making in the other class. It's so confusing. After I got started this morning on that blog post, I was like, oh man, this is so confusing. But it was too late then for me to do anything about it other than try to say, yeah, I thought I was being so brilliant in sharing more value, but it might be just really confusing. So I said that next week I won't have a class to go because I forgot. I have an eye injection next Tuesday, and I just I don't want to be stressed about whether I'll make it here on time or whether I'll be able to see. So I am just not going to have a live. However, I have been working in the background on getting my PDFs of my classes on my website and available for sale. So that is what I shall be working on next week. And the goal is to send out an email with a special surprise related to those PDFs next week. So you might want to watch for that if you would like some of those PDFs of classes that you might have missed. You know, there are all kinds of stampers. You know, some of us like to get the kits that are already prepped for us. Paper pumpkin, but even more than that, classes like this. And then sometimes you just want the PDF and you'll cut your own cardstock. And either way is completely acceptable. All right, so that is our flower image, and I'm going to put I need another new pack of dimensionals. Always. How many dimensionals do y'all go through in an average week? I need to keep up. I just tend to order. That's actually something that I'll put on my order for Thursday because I go through them so fast. So I'm going to put one dimensional on the outer edge here, and then I'll put some glue here after I kind of decide where I want this to go. And I'm kind of coming in with this little leaf here, sliding in, and so kind of the greenery is going to be in the circle. And yeah, I probably do too, Judy, place it on every order, that and basic relic cardstock. So I'm going to kind of position this so that most of the greenery is in the circle and most of the flowers are off. That'll need to set for just a second. So while it is setting, we can add this to our card base. Anytime I see that the liquid glue or seal is running on low inventory, I grab some of that as well. Although this cabinet behind me actually has one whole column dedicated to adhesives, the far right. So yeah, if you ever need adhesives and you are local to me, just give me a shout. I will gladly share. And if there's ever a trivia question about what Michelle is least likely to run out of, it's adhesive, because I do order it quite a bit. Okay, that looks even enough. And then we'll put more dimensionals on this. So my daughter sent me a little video this morning. It looked all sweet. It was of the baby. Nolan just turned 6 months, and she sent me this video of him, and she's talking while he's just grinning and just cooing at me. And she says, it goes like this. It says, "Mimi, Mommy wants me to tell you that I didn't sleep at all last night." And he's just a cooing and a laughing. So she's gonna be a little tired this morning. All right, I am gonna grab these blue dots from over here. I'm gonna put one here, and then another big one kind of down here, and then, oh gosh, I need a small one. I got kind of lost as to see where it was. There. So that is card number 2. But I just laughed and laughed. And how what a horrible mother am I, honey? I just laughed that that the baby didn't sleep last night. But she went on to say, "Oh, and Mommy says no, I didn't want to sleep on her, and I didn't want to sleep in my bed, so I just stayed up." All right, card number 3. So same stamp. We're going to do a little coloring. I'm going to put these 2 pieces together. And I liked using this layer of Evening Evergreen because then it added the green border where I might not otherwise have it, because the gingham has a white edge that could end up too. I don't know if that made a lot of sense, but I wanted it to be green all the way around and didn't think it would be necessarily any other way. I love this Evening Evergreen gingham. Now my disclaimer is, because there's green on green there, I might not have been able to see exactly where to place it. Same thing with putting it on my card base. There's always a disclaimer. Let's set that over there. And we'll put this down. Oh, I lost my little... I had an extra one cut in case I had a boo-boo when I stamped it. And this should be about there, leaving about 1/8 of an inch on all sides. All right, so now we're going to stamp this in Evening Evergreen. I am a green girl. I love green. I've already confessed that blue is not my favorite. My dining room, yes, is a lovely shade of blue, but I didn't pick that out. I just didn't repaint it. So I might also be a little lazy. Although, I mean, it's a lovely shade of blue. All right, set that aside and clean it later. Now, I'm not going to put this piece down yet because I want to play with these first. So we're going to color these Balmy Blue and Soft Succulent. And, you know, I probably should have done some of, I could have done some of that ahead of time, and I didn't. But I'm starting with the dark, and I'm just kind of going around and marking where it's most likely to be dark. Ashley, you'll appreciate that I've tried to get Hardin to show me, to give me some lessons on shading. So, not that he's been real enthusiastic, but he hasn't refused. I just have to know to ask him very specific questions. But those light and dark spots, I mean, that's what gives it the definition. Oh, you were so sweet. I wish that I had taken the time to realize that we knew other kids that would have art in the show. I was so just enthralled with what all they had done, because Hardin didn't tell us a thing. Which, any of you that know Hardin, this is not shocking news at all. It takes all of us to get relevant information. You know, he's pretty shy, does not like to draw attention to himself, did not want us to take any pictures of his art. So, you know, he's not at all a ham. Oh, I have a joke for you. Well, it's not really a joke, but it's a funny. So, my dad had a stroke, has had a couple of strokes, but the first one, the major one, was almost 20 years ago. And his speech was greatly impacted. It is very difficult to understand him in a conversation. Well, he and my mom, moved into a community in September, a retirement community, a CCRC, I think is what you call it. And my aunt and uncle have lived there for about 5 years. My cousin Rick lives nearby. My cousin Rick is a stitch, y'all. He is so funny. Now, most of us, when my dad speaks, we just, catch a few, try and catch enough of what he said just to go, right, and agree with him. My cousin Rick is determined that, and he's right, that we really need to understand what he's saying. He deserves to be understood. So when my dad spoke last night, Rick was over there for dinner, and my dad was talking, and Rick said, okay, I caught part of that, but you're gonna have to say it again. And so made my dad repeat what it was that he had said. And Rick said, okay, so the first part was, don't ever marry. And he said, did you say don't ever marry a naked lady? Which is not what my dad was trying to say, but it made everybody laugh, and it kept the mood light when my dad was trying to be understood. And for some reason, my father's advice was to not marry a Yankee, which my father is from a suburb of Nashville, west of here, and my mother is Canadian, so she doesn't even qualify as a Yankee in those terms. But anyway, I have no idea what the rest of the conversation was, but it's pretty funny that Rick is getting my dad to practice more. Actually, the whole place is getting my dad to talk more. His world was quite small for the last 20 years. He really stopped golfing, meeting his friends out. No. This new location seems to be everything that we wanted it to be for him. Mom said he even had the calendar of events out, seeing what was coming up. We're not old enough to move in, so Greg's not in any danger yet. He doesn't think this is something that he's interested in. I think it sounds to die for. I mean, man, they feed you, they change your sheets, they change out your towels, they clean your apartment. Isn't that what we all aim for? Somebody else to do those things? There's all kinds of activities. I should do their commercials, shouldn't I? All right, quickly. And actually, I forgot last night that much of this would not be shown, and I colored all of it. And then when I stuck it down, I was like, oh wait, that's not even showing. And these little greeneries, I mean, these little green pieces, they are so tiny that I'm kidding myself when I think I'm doing any real shading. And I'm not even trying to stay in the lines at this point. So what did I remember or forget to tell you? Oh, I still want to show you the samples for Card Club and for the Framed Florets other class. That class is a $30 class and includes half a pack of this paper. And this paper is not available after January 4th, or it could sell out before then. So there'll be a supply list and you can add it to your order on Thursday. All right, so now we are going to put these down, and this time we're going to do the reverse. Well, actually that's not quite true, but I need dimensionals. Okay, so I'm going to put one dimensional here and then one here, and I'm just going to let this kind of hug it, and then hopefully this will work out size wise, but it'll go like that. And then I don't know, there's probably an easier way, but this was the way I did it because I wanted that border to kind of be in the middle. So I did it like that. And then I'll do this. Let that set for a second, and I'll grab my gems. And I'm going to use these darkest down here on the bottom. I'm going to grab well, I think I'm out of small ones of these. See, I'm a green girl, I've used them all. And 3 of those. All right, so pull in the 3 cards we've made today. So here, here, and here. So this is today's class to go with the Framed Florets. And then this is in the December card class. These are the 4 designs. This one is actually on the blog that just posted, and it's kind of a step card, just like that. And I even stamped something in the corner, which I would like to go back and do. I didn't even put my liner on that last card. This card, and you could make this a fancy fold. I didn't. It just opens like this. And then this one, I lightly stamped off here and here to give it a little texture, and it will stand up. It's just drunk right now. And then it folds flat to mail. This one's my favorite. I love the way, oh come on, the tone-on-tone stamping shows along the edge of this one. So those are the 4 designs for the December card class. And then December Club, I should not have used something from the mini catalog that was retiring, but I did. I used Snowman Magic. But these are the adorable cards. So if you have this stamp set, or if you have another snowman stamp set that you could use, or actually you could use a lot of things, because you're gonna get what am I trying to say, the paper is not specific to the snowmen. Nothing is really. So you could do a lot of things with it if you don't have the stamp set. And maybe between now and the time I turn that loose, I'll come up with some others. But those are the cute little cards for Card Club. And you can subscribe by the 20th. There's a Christmas gift in it as well. And then, oh, thank you so much, Ashley. And I keep putting this one upside down. Don't know what my issue is. All right. And those are today's. So guys, have a great day. Let me know if there is anything that I can do to help you. I'm happy to place your order for you. Just email me and let me know. Have a very blessed day, and I will not see you live next week, but I'll be around and I've got some news. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.